What's going on, guys? Jake here from Chief Live Gaming. Today, a 2,000 point battle report between my Nurgle Death Guard style 40k army and Dark Angels. We are playing a slightly modified version of the ITC 2016 Scenario 1. The only modification that we are going to make is we're going to do variable game length, so 5 to 7 turns, and we're going to try to follow the rules otherwise. So let's go look at the Nurgle forces. We have a combined arms detachment of Chaos Space Marines, led by a sorcerer on a bike. We have troops, 20 cultists, 2 groups of 10. For elites, we've got 3 groups of Plague Marines, 5 in each group, 1 special weapon. 2 of them have let's see. Okay, 2 have plasma and 1 has a flamer, and they're riding in rhinos with Havoc missile launchers. We've got 2 squads of Nurgle bikers. Nurgle bikers have 2 plasmas and 2 meltas. We have 2 predators in the back, 1 with full las cannon loadout, 1 with auto cannon and heavy bolter sponsons. That is it for, can't forget these. A group of obliterators. I went with 2 today. For the unit size, so 2 obliterators in a single unit, and then we have an allied detachment of Chaos Space Marines, of Chaos Demons, I'm sorry. So there's a Great Unclean one there, which I'm using this Age of Sigmar model to represent, a group of 10 Plague Bearers for the troops choice, and then we have 4 Plague Drones. So they have Death's Heads and the banner that allows you to deep strike a little more accurately. So the plan is to fly these bros up somewhere near my opponent's Emperor's Will objective and deep strike in this big old baddie and sit there the whole game. So we'll see how that works. That is 2,000 points of chaos. Let's take a look at the Dark Angels. Alright guys, let's take a look at the Dark Angels army. So we have some tactical Marines here with a Melta in the group, and you said that was a chaplain here.
Tech Marine in this one.
Oh, the Tech Marine represented by Fabius Bile back there. They're in a Rhino. We have another Tac Squad with Melta. And what's this guy?
Just Sergeant.
Just a Sergeant. Okay, we have 2 Scout Sniper Squads. We have a Nephilim Jet Fighter with, you said the las cannon on it?
Yeah.
We have a Drop Pod with a Command Squad.
Yep, Command Squad.
And Azrael, is that the right?
Yep, Proxy Azrael,
yeah, he's
the Interrogator Chaplain today.
Okay, a little Proxy, we're getting there. He wants to try them out before he buys them, so, very understandable. We have a Vindicator in the front here. Terminators, Deathwing Terminators, and Deathwing Knights will deep strike for food. Yeah, they came in last game on turn 4, which was really sad. So hopefully they do a little better today. We also have 5 Devastators, so 2 Grav Cannons and 2 Missile Launchers.
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to be 2,000 points of Dark Angels. And we are again playing the ITC Scenario Mission 1, so that means we each have Emperor's Will objective. So on the Dark Angel side of the board, he elected to place his objective here. And moving over, we see the first Dawn of War objective, the second Dawn of War objective, and then way back in the corner there is my Emperor's Will objective for the Chaos. So, kind of a fun layout of the board. Very open on this side other than that mess. And then what we're doing for this building is treating the whole objective as being within 3 inches of this building. So we're going to measure from the base of the building or the hull of the building, whatever you want to call it. And if you're within 3 inches of it, we're going to count as being contested since it's such a high priority. So we could have somebody over here contesting against somebody over here, just to kind of switch things up, see how that works for upcoming things that I want to try in a campaign I'm doing. So other than that, we're going to deploy, and we'll come back to you guys, show the deployment, and get this party going. Okay guys, we've deployed. Both sides, infiltrate has been completed. So here is the Nurgle side of the board. On our Emperor's Will objective, we have the 2 Predators in the back looking down this lovely defensive posture, waiting to see what comes up this side of the board. We've got some bikes cultists, rhinos, everything ready, prepped to move up to these Dawn of War objectives. And the plague drones ready to move around on the flank on this wide open side of the board on this nice little outpost here. For the Dark Angels, we have some snipers nested in this tower. These are Devastators back here, some more snipers on the other side across the 3 levels of this building. Rhinos, Vindies, another Rhino, and in reserves we have Terminators and the Nephilim jet fighter. Tucked way around behind here, we do have the Knights on the board turn 1, hoping to secure their Emperor's Will objective for the Dark Angels. So I deployed first, which means I get first turn unless you can seize on a 5-up. So why don't you roll that now?
Supreme Strategist.
He seizes. It's going to be Dark Angels. Turn 1. Let's see how it goes, folks. 2000 versus 2000. Emperor's Will. Primary with Dawn of War deployment. No night fighting is in effect. It's going to be a good one, guys. Dark Angels doing some damage in their first turn. We've got a drop pod. The command squad. They're called command, right?
Yeah, command.
Spilling out and taking some Melta shots. Unfortunately missing both Melta shots, but it didn't matter. The Devastators from this tower, careening missiles, lobbing them down, were able to blow up this Rhino, spilling out the Plague Marines, and then killing one additionally. We have lost some cultists who are fleeing heroically away from the battle, off on this side of the board. We have, that was actually about the end of the turn, just some movement over here, kind of setting up. He did score both Maelstrom points, so one was getting this objective, and one was the stay within 12 of your deployment. So he will have 2 Maelstrom points. Looking pretty nice. Let's see what the Chaos Forces can do in turn 1. Chaos, in the answer for their turn, we've sunk a lot of our effort into this central area here. Many shots going into the command squad, as well as the Meltas from this bike group taking out the drop pod, granting me 1 Maelstrom point for slaying a unit. On this side of the board, pretty empty, so not much to shoot at. I did strip 1 hull point off of that Rhino back in the corner, and now I'm just kind of hanging out, waiting. So the Burning Brand, guys, I forget how good it is, but it's amazing. So we were able to thin out pretty nicely here, but now we have to deal with Azrael and the Chaplain here. So pretty scary. Some characters coming in there. Popped smoke in the front here. Moved up the drones. Preparation for that Great Unclean One to hopefully arrive next turn and move up for that Maelstrom, or for that Emperor's Will objective. So I have scored 1 Dawn of War, I believe, point. It's the Maelstrom points, I think they're called. Leaving the Dark Angels ahead, 2 points to 1, and we're moving into the top of turn 2. In the Dark Angels turn 2, orders came down to remove the bikers off the table, and he easily did so with Azrael and his Chaplain charging in, absolutely destroying that unit of bikes. Not a chance. For the rest of the turn, we had the Terminators arriving in a timely manner this game. Direct hitting right in the middle of the board there. We have some adjustments for the vehicles. Some grav shots, some missile launchers. The Knights moving around onto their Emperor's Will objective, prepping for the arrival of the large and nasty demon on this side of the board. This Rhino was immobilized, not able to move, but didn't really need to yet. Just kind of staying ready on this side of the board to move in for the Emperor's Will later in the game. So that was the second turn for the Dark Angels. We're moving into turn 2 for Chaos. A high tension turn in the second turn for the Chaos. As you can see, I unloaded everything that I had on this side of the board, dumped all of my shooting into the units. There was the chaplain and Azrael, and I ended up killing the chaplain, bringing Azrael down to 1 single wound. Very good shooting on my part. Azrael is shaken, but you did make a lot of really good saves. That feel no pain, everything kept him up, so that was nice. And we'll see what he can do from the rest of the game. Let's see. Over here, we had the deep strike come down. I got the spell. Basically, what this spell does is allows me to generate additional toughness on a demon of Nurgle, and so I buffed up the Great Unclean One's toughness to 9 from 7. So that's going to be interesting over there. On this side of the board, Blitz coming down, deep striking with a direct hit. Twin linked Meltas into that Rhino. We're able to bring it out and explode, killing 3 of the Power Armor Marines inside. So we've got kind of a nice pile of Vindicator-sized units here. It looks like that pie plate coming down is going to be brutal. And the answering turn from the Dark Angels. Let's see what happens moving into turn 3. Another eventful turn. In the top of turn 3, the Dark Angels moving forward on this side of the board, wiping my Warlord, the Sorcerer, the Chaos Sorcerer, absolutely dominated by this group of Terminators which came forward and pretty much shoved his face in the dirt, taking him out, getting the Slay the Warlord point, and consolidating back, making a nice line, protecting Azrael back in that corner there. For shooting, we had this tack squad piling out on top of the cargo crate, shooting into the cultists, killing all but the one they couldn't see. Vindicator shot raining down, taking out one of the bikes that was there before the combat started. And other than that, this tack squad moving up, trying to get objective 2. They needed to kill this Obliterator, which, Obliterators are not the easiest things to kill. So he's still alive, and he could not, unfortunately, score at that point. Over here, on this front, we have so many fronts going here. This charge was failed. He needed, I believe, an 8 because of the difficult terrain, and did not make it into the Great Unclean One there. And we're really curious. I don't know how this combat would go, really, because he has the smite attacks, which is basically it'll be what, 4 strength 10 attacks?
Yeah, AP1.
Yeah,
I believe.
strength probably AP2, strength 10 AP2 or something nasty.
Yeah, it must be 2. It can't be 1.
So I don't know, like, because they still have their 3-up invuln in close combat, we think, and the Great Unclean One is not going to be able to take them out very quickly, so it's just going to become kind of an attrition war, and that's going to be exciting. So, excellent. I think I'm in trouble in the middle here, but I think we're looking pretty good over on this side. It's so hard to say. The Dark Angels are ahead in Maelstrom. Let's move in to the bottom of turn 3. We've just finished turn 3. Very, very dramatic game so far. On this side of the board, the Great Unclean One and the Plague Drones made their way into combat with the Knights. The Knights lost 2 and were able to actually win combat, inflicting 2 wounds to the Great Unclean One and another wound into the Plague Drones. But I was able to pass both demonic instability tests and am stuck in combat. I was again able to raise my toughness by 2 with that psychic power, making my Great Unclean One toughness 9, which is just nasty. As far as the rest of the board goes, some shooting. I thinned out 1 Terminator, yeah, with some shooting. Not as much as I'd hoped, but that's Terminators for you. They either fall like a sack of bricks or stand there all game. So let's see, trying to think. Some Havoc missile launchers scattering off of this group that was so lovely perch. Just juicy right there, but I scattered off even though it was twin-linked. We had some las cannon shots, twin-linked plasma from the Obliterators, and then charging in with the Power Fist attacks, able to kill all but that Tech Marine. And I needed objective 2 there, but was not able to score it. I did not score any Maelstrom points. And so at the end of the 3rd turn, Dark Angels have 4, and Chaos has 3. So I'm behind in Maelstrom, and this is contested, and I am still all alone back on my Emperor's Will objective. So we will see the answer of the Dark Angels. Now, important to note that the Jet failed both reserve rolls in both turns. So that would have changed things. It is going to auto-arrive on turn 4, and we'll see what that can do. We are not going to be using the new Deaths from the Skies or whatever rules, just because I haven't read them, so I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think they even apply if you only have one flyer.
I think you need some type of formation or something.
Well, I think it's like the dog fighting thing that happens before, but regardless, it doesn't apply here, so we'll leave you guys off and move into turn 4. Top of game, turn 4. We've had some carnage in the middle of the board. The Dark Angels finally getting their flyer into the board, screaming in, and doing a ton of damage. We've lost some Plague Marines out of this unit. There's a small unit of 2. I think a total of 6 or 7 Plague Marines fell during that volley of shooting. We've had rapid fire coming in, the shells raining down from this Vindicator, and the middle is cleared out for the Dark Angels to advance. On this side of the board, the combat ended favorably for the Chaos. The Obliterators consolidating up on Objective 2, and we are still looking okay in the backfield here, but he is rocketing ahead quickly in the Maelstrom points. Dark Angels are doing very well with the Maelstrom points today. Over here, in this big, ugly combat with the brutes of the board, we have 3 wounds remaining on the Great Unclean One. A single knight. Look at this guy. What a beast. Surrounded by the giant mosquitoes. You guys seen Jumanji? It's those freaking mosquitoes right there. Look at those things. Just swarming him. Except they're even bigger.
I think I have something for that.
Yeah, we need some off. Just spray. You spray my models with that, you're
It's
kicked
green,
out.
so it's
I'm
Dark
kicking you
Angels.
out if you spray my bugs with that. Just saying.
It's green,
So-
it's Dark Angels.
This has been interesting. Potentially, you could actually kill the Unclean One with some good rolls. So, very interesting. Let's see what happens as Chaos takes their 4th turn. What an excellent turn of events. In Chaos's 4th turn? Yes, the bottom of turn 4. Okay, so we'll kind of go through. For the movement, I piled all of my Marines back into the Rhinos. Wanted to be safer with them, kind of just waded back into the deployment zone. I moved up the Obliterators and was able to take some assault cannon shots into Azrael, who was hiding in this little courtyard here. And I got like 3 Rens through, and then you failed like 1 save, and then 1 Ren save, and then failed 1 Feel No Pain. So like I did exactly enough wounds to take out Azrael for Slay the Warlord. That was quite lucky. I took some snapshots from all the tank lines way up into that flyer. Did a single glance, which was pretty nice. And this was the eventful part. So you'll notice as we pan over here that there is a base without an Unclean One on it, and that's due to a Perils of the Warp. And then I rolled a 1 on the Perils chart, and then I failed my leadership test, which meant that he was removed as a casualty.
All on the cock dice.
Yeah, so I got greedy and wanted to get the 3 warp charge toughness increasing thing from, I'll show you guys, no, not that one, from this spell here. So I put 3 warp charges into it, and I threw 7 dice, and of course, I perils off of a cocked dice. One of the dice was cocked, I re-rolled it and got a perils from it, and I died. So that was pretty hilarious. And so now we have this even more heroic knight on this side of the board that could actually like live the rest of the game there. So pretty intense. What a crazy turn of events. I'm not making this up, guys. I wish I was, but these are just our games lately. They've just been crazy. So let's move on. For Maelstrom points, the Dark Angels are ahead by 1 point. And we are doing the variable game length, so this could potentially be the last turn for the Dark Angels. Let's see how they do in turn 5. What a monstrously good turn for the Dark Angels, rallying back in the end of the game. We have 1 wound remaining, 1 hull point on this Rhino due to shots coming in from the jet there. This Vindicator raining the shells down over this wall onto the Obliterators, eliminating them. Excellent shots there, just wiping the Obliterators right off the table. We have a blown Rhino over here, spilling out a single remaining Plague Marine behind it, and we have these Terminators tucked back over here. So the scouts are coming down. They're getting ready to go wherever they need to. We still have some scouts over on this nest and the Devastators. This Rhino has a full, I think, 7 remaining Marines inside of it. It turned around from the middle and is making its way back towards the Emperor's Will objective, where I have finally taken down the last remaining knight. The Deathwing Knight has fallen, and the Plague Drones are staying there, going to try to live through all of the fire on this side of the board. The war of attrition has begun. What will happen? And it's going to kind of depend on how long this game goes, guys. We're good over here. Again, this lane is pretty clear, but the Terminators are coming. So if the game goes on long enough, this is going to be a bloodbath on this corner. Let's see what happens. Again, Dark Angels ahead in Maelstrom. I'm going to need to pull out the stops to get back. Let's go into the bottom of turn 5. A very rapid turn for Chaos in the bottom of 5. Booking it across the board with the Rhino full of the 3 remaining Plague Marines. Trying to get to that Emperor's Will objective. Trying to fortify if the game were to continue. On this side of the board, nothing eventful. Some shots into scouts. Hate to waste all that firepower, but there was no other option, so we took some shots into the scouts and took one out. So, basically, to summarize, we are doing the variable game length of 5 to 7 turns. This was the end of the 5th turn. As it stands now, Chaos controls both Emperor's Will objectives, but Dark Angels are winning in the Maelstrom points, and we both have Slay the Warlord, Line Breaker from here and from there, and we both have Big Game Hunter. So if the game ends right now, it's a tie. Let's see if the game continues. On a 4-up, the game will continue another turn. It's all over. It's all over. It's a draw. Left-handed. GG, man. What a freaking amazing game. Like, what the heck? Any closing thoughts? Like, what is there to say? This was awesome.
I don't know what to say, especially with this corner, what happened here.
That was that
on a cocked dice, it's just the odds.
The perils, yeah, that was awesome. So,
amazing.
Dude, I'm pretty sure if the game would have continued, even one more turn, so these guys would have got on to 3, and they are troops with OBSEC, and I think he would have won, man. So it's actually was nice that the game ended. I think it would have just been a slow
Yeah, a lot
death.
of firepower on this side yet, and the attack squad coming in to maybe do some close combat with you.
Yeah, I think you would have definitely taken this back for the forces of Absolution or whatever the hell
Be the first
Dark
Legion.
Angels, like First Legion, whatever. Not Chaos. That's all that matters. It's not Chaos. Well, good game. Good game, man. That was fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for your continued support. We're trying to put out as many battle reports as possible with the newer armies that we can get in and continue the content. So we will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a good day. Bye now. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you want to see more, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do battle reports, tactica, painting tutorials, all kinds of stuff. And if you want to get even more involved, you can check out my website, chieflivegaming.com. There's a big gallery there. You can vote on polls to interact with my battle reports and all kinds of other good stuff. So I hope to see you guys there, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye now.